While the government shutdown continues as we go into the weekend, both chambers of Congress will be in session next week. Republican leaders continue to push their message that despite the Democrats' PR theatrics, the clean continuing resolution already passed by the House leaves nothing left to negotiate. So the question may be, how long will it take for Senate Democrats to accept this reality? Joining me now to discuss this and a bit more, Florida Senator Rick Scott. He serves on 5 Senate committees, including the Senate Armed Services Committee and the Homeland Security Committee. Senator Scott, welcome back to This Week on Capitol Hill. Great to see you.
Tony, it's always great to see you. So now think about this. So Chuck Schumer, first off, just hates Trump. The Democrats hate Trump. So what they're saying is they're going to shut down government to hurt Trump, or it hurts the American public. And what they're saying is, no, we won't fund the Biden budget. Because what a clean continuing resolutions does is says we're going to continue to fund at the existing level. Well, that's the Biden budget. So the budget that I didn't vote for, that they passed when they were in power, now they are against. This is how crazy it is. And you know what their ask is? Okay, we'll do it only if you'll fund health care for illegals and you'll pay for abortions, have free abortions. That's what they want.
And this is just a short-term continuing resolution until the appropriations process can hopefully be culminated with the general appropriations, which has the policies attached to it, and we rediscover all of these things. So this is something they voted for multiple times, right?
Absolutely. So Tony, I've been up here 6.5 years. Here's what goes on every year. I'm on the budget committee, which would be the group that probably should pass the budget, right? So I'm on the committee. We don't have meetings about the budget, right? We get to the year end, September 30. They say, oh, we worked hard, but we couldn't get the budget done. So we'll have to do a continuing resolution and keep funding just like last year. Well, I don't like not having funding bills done, but it's better than shutting down government. So I voted for it, but the Democrats won't. So now what we're going to do, and this is a short-term continuing resolution to November 21. Now, if history repeats itself, what they'll try to do at the end of the November 21, they'll say, oh, we all came together. We have this gigantic spending bill with 8,000 earmarks that waste money like it's going, money like it's going out of style. We'll continue this $2 trillion deficit, increase our debt another $2 trillion. That's what they'll want to do. But we're going to block that. We're not going to let that happen. But we might be, I don't know how long we're going to be in the shutdown. We need 5 more Democrats to vote with us.
Now, Senator Scott, I'm with you. I have not been a supporter of continuing resolutions because generally the continuing resolutions that we've seen in the past are increased. So they're actually, the spending is, we're told that it's to account for inflation and all this and all that. This one actually stays flat. So it does reduce spending a bit because of inflation. So from a conservative standpoint, it's good. As opposed to shutting down the government. I agree with you on that. But the Democrats' demands are not even realistic. $1.5 trillion in health care for illegal immigrants, and as you pointed out, for what was in Obamacare that almost killed Obamacare, because I was working on that at the time, and so were you. You were leading a coalition of health care efforts on that, was the abortion issue. And now they're asking Republicans to fund it.
Yeah, so they want Republicans to vote to fund abortion. Come on. I mean, I can't imagine that's what's going to happen. So what they're asked for, 1, it's wrong, and 2, it should never happen.
Let's talk about the impact of this. Okay, you serve on the Armed Services Committee. National security, obviously a top priority, especially now. I think we're in a very dangerous world. How does this impact our men and women who serve in the military?
Well, first off, number 1 is they don't get paid, right? So they're not going to be paid. So if I think depends on every branch is a little bit different, but I think their next paycheck is either the 10th or the 15th of October, so they won't get paid. They're still expected to do what they're saying. But on top of that, we continue to fund legacy programs that the military might not need and not fund the new programs the military needs. So it doesn't make any sense for our military. But this shutdown impacts our military, impacts, let's say you live in, if you live in, like I say, Florida, where you have to have national flood insurance, you can't even apply for it right now. So your lender might not lend you money, or since we're still in hurricane season, you might not be protected if you do close on that house purchase during the last 2 months of hurricane season. But there's so many federal programs like that you can't even get a hold of anybody or apply for those programs.
Senator, I know you served in the United States Navy, and I served in the Marine Corps. And as a young enlisted Marine, I didn't have savings. I lived paycheck to paycheck. I know that the back pay will come eventually to these members, but this is a hardship for many men and women, especially those that are deployed overseas.
Well, the typical young Marine or young sailor or young soldier, they have no money in the bank. I mean, when I was in, I started out making $144 a month, and got up to $334 a month during my time. So it's not like it's where you can save a whole bunch of money as a 18, 19, 20-year-old sailor or Marine. So it's unfair. Expect them to do their job and not get paid.
What about Congress? Are they going to get paid?
Well, I've had a bill since I came up here says we shouldn't get paid. We get paid. Mine is, if we don't pass the budget, we don't get paid. I'm blessed. I made money in business, so I give away my salary every quarter. But yeah, we shouldn't get paid. There's no way we should get paid. But I can't get. Of course, I've had a few votes on that, and it doesn't pass because
surprise,
people say,
surprise.
well, that's not fair. No, it's not fair that other people don't get paid.
Just about a minute and a half left. Speaking of the military, this week, unprecedented gathering of the military brass at Quantico. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth laying out a pretty radically different path forward than what we've seen in the past, and that is that our military should be prepared to fight and win wars. What a radical idea.
That's the military I signed up for when I was 18 years old. Is at the tail end of Vietnam. I didn't end up going to Vietnam, but I wanted to serve in a military that I was respected. I wanted to serve in a military that was a meritocracy. That I wanted people that I was served with to be the absolute best that could do their jobs. And so that's what he's talking about. We were going to have a military that our enemies fear. And that's how you don't go to war.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.